In today's episode of the Pathway Presents podcast, I have an interesting guest here with me today. I'm with Gloria de Rosa, and she's sailing over as the head of marketing at Simera. And at Simera, they're actually doing something quite interesting. If you are hiring remotely, which a lot of you guys are doing at the moment, we definitely see that by the questions that are coming in and ideas about managing a remote marketing team, for example. Simera is doing something quite interesting. They help you to build out your remote team in Latin America, and obviously a lot of companies that are selling into the US that might be super, super interesting. So we want to really figure out, or even in the Latin American market itself, right? It doesn't even have to be centric to the US. It's super interesting, right, to learn more about Simera today. So I'm very glad to have Gloria on the show. So welcome.
Thank you so much for the invite. Very excited to be here.
Of course, yeah. So maybe give us a quick overview. I mean, I gave a high level insight, but maybe from your own words, it might be much more clear. What is it that you guys are doing and who you're serving?
Absolutely. Well, Simera is known as the bridge between global talent and US-based companies. So what we do is we help these companies get top professionals to build their teams at a lower cost and in record time. So we have a built-in artificial intelligence platform with candidate screening and verification technology that helps them reduce the time to hire to up to 60%.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, all a company has to do is select their favorite candidates, and then we take care of verifying the talent. We count with an integrated global payroll solution, and we're certified in GDPR. So Simera also ensures our clients stay compliant with local laws to feel safe hiring from any of these countries we offer talent from.
Mm-hmm. Couple of small questions on that, because there's a big boom for companies in Europe as well to help you to hire outside. Does that mean people would be hired through Simera? Does that mean they're hired through an agency? Like maybe tell us a little bit sort of what the infrastructure would be, because I think a lot of guys would be very interested how it actually works.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're a little bit more than a hiring agency, but basically we help you get the talent. So we send you your favorite talent. For example, we send you candidates, and then you can pick your favorite one, and then we take care of everything else, from payroll solution and all of that. But we are trying to expand in the near future to Europe as well, and start seeing as well companies who would want to hire remotely from Europe. So yes, it's part of the growth strategies that are going to be implemented soon.
Very cool. Now, what type of organizations typically are a great fit for Samara? Like, what is it, like startups? Is like enterprise companies? Like, what types of roles do you help them to fill typically? Maybe you could give us an insight.
Absolutely. Well, the companies that we normally work with are SaaS companies and startups, but this is just the beginning. Like we say, it's something that we are trying to expand to bigger markets too, and we offer them the highest on demand positions. It could be from project management, project managers, sales, marketing, HR, administrative positions, IT positions. That's what we can offer them from anything that's the highest in demand at the moment.
Very cool. Now, how do people hear about Samara? Like, I mean, it's a great solution. Sometimes, people, I think a lot of teams are banging their head against the wall trying to find good talent, obviously. So how do they then come across Samara in their journey?
Absolutely. Well, one of the first parts where, clients can find our business is usually through our website. So our website is simera.io, and you can find information there. And then the other way that you can find about our business is through social media. So we count with LinkedIn and Twitter to help attract businesses, and they get to know a little bit more about us and what we do in that regard. And on the other side, we have Instagram and Facebook, which we use more to attract applicants, or the talent in this case, and that we're going to get for these companies. So those are the ways that they can find us, and they can learn more about us, and also, book a call or get, more information about it all.
Very cool. Now, what role do you attribute then to the website? Like, how do you think about the website in that journey as a marketer? What do you think? What role does it play in their decision-making process at the moment?
I think it's the most important part. For example, I always put it like a website, it's like a store. It's like your store, for example. So if you come in and it's attractive and you have the right and clear information to make that journey easy, whether if it's through the awareness stage, especially when you go to the website, you are going from the awareness to the consideration part. So it's the point where you start considering whether this service or this product is the right choice for you. So having the right information and the easy places for them to go, meaning what CTAs do you want there? What in the order that everything is to is very important. So you want them, if you want them to know what companies you've worked with before, to give that brand reputation, and that confidence that what you're going to hire or the service that you're going to use has been, it's been successful with these other companies. What is our main selling point? What makes us more attractive than the competitors? Those are the first things that have to be at the top, because that's where we pass them from the consideration stage to probably that purchase stage, because it's what we want. So everything, the website is the key element, whether we have also lead magnets in there, that we can capture the information of someone who, was just wandering around, but you know what? They want to know more and they give us their information, and then we can continue nurturing them through email marketing, for example. And that also keeps them, pushing them to the next stage of that journey. So I think the website is a key element in a buyer's journey for any company.
Yep, no, that makes a whole lot of sense. I mean, we love to talk about the buyer's journey a lot. Actually, in the podcast, is a kind of a running theme that we talk about in different phases that we talk about. Now, what I'm curious about is, what have you learned over the years? Can be with Simera, can be in previous roles, because you've been in quite interesting and exciting roles even prior to that. And what have you learned when it comes to converting people throughout that buyer's journey on the website? Is there any like tools, approaches, methods that you've been, coming across and learning with over the years?
Yeah, I think, you're always learning. And I love that I think that's one of the best things about marketing. You are always learning and you're always trying new things, because you never know. Like I always say, a thing that probably didn't work before probably works now, and something that works now probably won't work in, a couple of days. So I think the main thing is always learning, listening to what your customers want. That's the main thing, because that's what you attract them. Remember that we have just a couple of seconds to capture someone's attention, even on our website. So what the main thing is checking what they want, their needs, but at the same time looking at what the competitors are doing. So what are they saying as well? Well, how can we be different from them? Because when we are in that consideration stage, we normally consider other options. So how do we keep them in touch with us? So if we're going to offer them a lead magnet, what type of lead magnet are we offering them? It's not just anything. It has to be something that they're going to click on and that they're going to download, and it's going to be useful for them. What type of messages are we going to use on our email campaigns? When after they download that, everything, the messaging, the consistency, how many times are we going to message them? All of that are key elements that one always has to be looking at, whether it's working or not, and trying new things. If you don't have a blog, try it. It works wonders. It's one of the key elements. Everything that your website might be lacking and that might help you in the end is something that you continue learning. And I think that's one of the most exciting things about it, actually.
You brought up something very interesting, which is the different types of conversion goals for the different stages of the buyer's journey, right? And you talked about the asset download. Is there something that you've maybe learned, or any insight that you've gained over the years? What is a good type of conversion goal for earlier stages, right? Because we see a lot of marketers are struggling a little bit, right? Because they put another PDF to download, and then it doesn't really supplement the buyer's journey in many situations, right? Is there anything that you've picked up over the years on that?
Yes, it's learn what your customers want, because we might think that they want this type of PDF, just like you mentioned. We might think they want this sort of thing, and they want it this way, but this is what we want or what we think. However, sometimes a customer or our buyer persona, and here's where the buyer persona comes in, probably that's not what they're looking for, or probably what we're giving them is outdated, so they're not going to click on it, or they won't be interested in it. It's always checking out the trends. What's trending for, let's say, a hiring manager in HR, an HR manager? What's trending for them? What's trending, for example, for a marketer? What would they need that they have that people are not talking about, and that we could give in something new? Because many might be having the same type of downloadable, and and that immediately, it's good. You can say, oh, I already downloaded that from another website. What else is new? And that what else is new is just being in touch with what's trending and what they want. So what's trending in, for example, what this type of client is looking for, or this type of customer persona is looking for, what type of this persona looking for. Those are key elements in a strategy that helps, make them click it, make them download it. And you always must remember that no matter what you're trying to put out there.
And what would be your way to keep a finger on the pulse of what's kind of trending, to identify those trends early and not being sort of too late on then maybe providing the 10th PDF that they've come across? Like, is there something that you do? Is there any tools, any ways that you think about that?
Actually, the thing I do is always market research, lots of market research, and always looking, I think I'm always looking at social media and the right social media. So, and the right blogs and the right places where I might find the latest trends. And there's other things that sometimes, you could also be a trendsetter. So, it's always researching. The key is to research and always be on top of things, and looking also what the competitors are doing, and seeing if they already did that, let's do something different. What else is there? So lots of market research, I think, would be the answer to that. Lots of research.
Very cool. Let's switch gears a little bit. I would love to talk about sort of your daily work and your experience as a marketer. Maybe give us a glimpse into sort of a daily workload of Gloria at Simera. Is there sort of, what types of projects are running at the same time? Because most of the time we have marketers that are inundated with a lot of projects. What's your reality?
Well, in our case, we have, let's put it this way, 2 target personas, but bigger, because then we subdivide them. But at the moment, we have 2. So we have on one side, we have the clients. So when we say clients, it's everything that's related to B2B marketing. So how we get to them, the right channels, the right messages, like I mentioned, what is our value proposition, your unique selling point. And then on the other side, we have a CV acquisition for Latin American talent, which is a completely different, if you can see, it's a completely different persona. So you have, and they have different needs. And that's where it becomes, you have to know exactly how to communicate from one side into the other. So you have 2 projects running at the same time and different campaigns for different types of audiences running at the same time. So basically that is a normal day to day. So we are looking at trends from one side, we're looking at trends from the other, analytics from one side, analytics from the other. What would they want? What would the other want? And that's this way, then we just connect them, and see where is that connection that we can, bring value of what we're finding from our product side, which in this case are our talents, and what our clients need. So that is basically one of the main things that I do in my role. So always, checking out what one wants and the other, and linking them together.
Very good. Now, in order to, as we're slowly approaching the end of the interview, I would have some rapid fire questions. Are you ready for those?
Let's go.
What's the last book you read or the last podcast you listened to?
The last book I read was *Sapiens* by Yuval Noah Harari. I love that one. That's the last book. I just finished reading it.
What's the one single thing that your company is focused on the most at the moment?
That's a good one. We are trying to become this big company that is going to help US-based companies get great talent, and at the same time help people from Latin America get better opportunities without them leaving their homeland.
If there would be no boundaries in technology, right? So everything is possible. What's the one thing that you would fix for your role as a marketer today?
Oh my, that's a really good question. I think that if there are no boundaries, that you can easily get to the right audience easily. I think that'd be the best one, and you can just definitely stand out. And and if you're just targeting one person, they just see your ads. I think that would be it, probably, because I know it's hard when you have a lot of ads going at the same time and you're in a sea of ads and you'll have a couple of seconds. Yeah, probably that.
Very cool. For the very last question, I'd like to do a little bit of time travel. Right, so let's go back to formal education, maybe the last one, University of Westminster. Now you're heading out of formal education into the world of marketing and growth. What's the one advice you would give yourself for your journey?
Do not be scared to try new things. Do not be scared to try new things. There is nothing certain that an objective or a strategy is going to be 100% effective. You never know that. All you have to do is keep trying and don't be scared. I think that's my biggest advice to my younger self and to everyone. Do not be scared to try new things and voice them. Use that creativeness. Marketers are like artists. We create. Let's always keep creating. Let's always keep trying. And like Shakespeare once said, our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. So don't be scared to attempt.
Very cool. I really like the quote there. People will actually have to look it up again. Very good. So, Gloria, I really appreciate you joining us for the interview today. I want to give you the very last word. If somebody would be forgetting all that we discussed about Simera today, what's the one thing that they should remember?
That we are a part of something bigger than just offering to build teams and give remote job opportunities. We want to build this company that, like mentioned, helps US-based companies and startup companies, get the right talent for a lower cost, and at the same time help Latin American people also get great opportunities by working with these companies that they would probably not find in these countries. So that is the main thing that I want people to remember about our company.
Thanks a lot for being a guest on Pathway Presents.
Thank you so much for the invite.